Okay guys, you see, I wanted to film with a backdrop of this. I even set up the chair and everything, you know, with the mountains in the background, but because the sun is coming in this way, then I'm basically completely dark, so you can't see me at all, which looks really weird. So I'm gonna have to compromise, unfortunately. So instead we're gonna have to go with this, and I know the lighting isn't that amazing, but oh well, this is honestly the only place that I can film right now. Anyway, this video is going to be, as you guys probably figured out by the title of this video, 5 things that I wish I knew about AP classes before I had started high school. So that somebody could have told me. But the point is that these are just 5 tips, I guess, or things that I think that everyone should know about AP classes before going into them. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so number 1, teachers, what you're learning in class and from your teachers and just like in your class in general is not necessarily going to be on the AP exam. So I guess let's do for an example, like, okay, basically the AP exam might have a lot different material than what you're learning in class. So for instance, in AP Bio, like, we learned all of these really detailed facts about every possible topic in biology in AP Bio. And then on the actual AP exam, it was pretty different. The format was completely different. It was a lot more general science kind of questions, and then in the FRQs, it was kind of just really different than I had expected. So overall, when it comes to AP classes and AP exams, one does not really correlate that much to the other. And also, teachers are not going to exactly like coddle you, I guess. You know, they're not going to be really helping you prepare for the AP exam. You're gonna have to do that on your own, and basically self-study for it using your textbook, using your prep books, etc. But basically, you're not going to be, the teachers are not just gonna, for the 2 months coming up to the AP exam, just basically prepare for you, and you will go in and just get a 5 with no preparation. So basically, just because you're getting A's in your class doesn't mean you're going to get a 5 or 4 on the AP exam. Number 2, AP exams, or not AP exams, AP classes involve a lot of hard work, and they're really not a walk in the park. So you're probably gonna have homework every single night, or every other night at least, and you're probably, if you're not gonna have homework, you're gonna have to read something. So for example, in AP World History, we have to usually read at least like 5 to 6 pages a day for a chapter that we're doing, and do homework throughout the week, and then it's due the day of the test or the quiz. For AP Stats, we have to do homework every single day. For calculus, there's usually homework every single day, etc. So it's kind of a general trend where you have to do a lot of work. So that's something to take into consideration when you're making your schedule, depending on how busy you are doing other things. So there's definitely a lot of work in. Number 3, when it comes to preparing for AP exams, you definitely want to start preparing at least 2 months in advance, especially if you're taking more than one AP class. So, and when it comes to preparing, that doesn't mean just like going over all of your notes from the school year. What I recommend doing is to buy a prep book, or if you haven't already bought a prep book, get one for sure. But or trying to find some resources online to start preparing for the AP exam, because the AP exam is probably going to be a bit different than what you've learned in class. Not really different, but just like have some different areas of focus. So I recommend doing that. 4, online resources are your best friend, and so are prep books really, but there are millions of online resources out there for every single AP class that you're taking, and they are super useful. So one example would be AP US History and AP World History and AP Euro History. Basically, there are tons of YouTube videos out there for those of you who are more visual audio learners that cover the same material that is going to be on the AP test. So you can find them on YouTube, you can find them on websites websites, it really doesn't matter where, but there's tons of resources. You can also find tons of outlines that people have made in the past by just typing into Google, for instance, like AP US History outline or AP US History exam packet, and it's going to be like an amazing resource. It's going to be filled with everything that you possibly need to know for the AP exam that someone has already done for you. And I definitely recommend at least using one of those resources just when you're reviewing it, because it's really useful. And there are just tons of resources out there, so don't ever feel like you don't have enough, because there is enough. And when it comes to prep books, I recommend looking up on researching, which ones are the best ones for your particular class. Is it Princeton Review? Is it Barron's? And then buying the best one and really just focusing on that one. And number 5 is to not get down on yourself if you're not doing as well as you would like in your AP class, or if you're doing worse than your friends, or just in general you don't feel that great about it. There's always the opportunity to get better and to raise your grade and to succeed. And I guess to do that, I recommend first of all getting to know your teacher really well by going to their office hours, or for instance visiting them at lunch and asking questions. By messaging them, by basically being in their face a lot so that they get to know you, by asking questions in class, by raising your hand. Basically all of that will get the teacher to know you better, and they'll maybe feel more connected to you in a personal way and help you out more, and give you tips and stuff that can help you succeed in the class. And also I recommend, obviously, if you're not doing that well, then try to put more effort into that class where you're not doing well. So spend more time studying the material, try to learn it earlier if you can, and then, really pay attention in class. Like all of these things that you can possibly do to raise your grade or to, do better in the class. But overall, try not to get down on yourself too much, because there's always the opportunity to do better. And also try not to compare yourself too much to others, because that can really demotivate you. And while it does feel like, hey, she's doing better than me, that's going to motivate me, but what's actually going to happen is it's going to demotivate you, and you're going to end up not wanting to study anymore because you feel so bad about yourself. So do not do that. Trust me, I have experience with that. So yeah, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it useful, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.